All right, I am actually going to start on the very last circle problem, only because, in my opinion, it's more closely related to the ones we just did versus the first one. It's just a little bit harder to visualize. So it says, given a circle with a center at -3, -5, and a radius of 4. So that's our starting circle. So obviously figure out which one that is. Well, left 3 and down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is this circle down here. They're saying this is the center, and this is my pre-image. This is where I started. And it had a radius of 1, 2, 3, 4. And it says the image is a circle centered at -1, -2. So the center of this circle is here, and it only has a radius of 2. So the scale factor is pretty easy for this because you just use the radius. You just have to remember again, to find scale factor, you always do the image over the pre-image, or new over old. So for our scale factor, we do new over old, or the image over the pre-image. So we said this was our pre-image, and this was our image. So we started off really big and we got small. So we know our scale factor is going to have to be less than 1. So we would do 2 divided by 4, which means our scale factor is a half. So it's a half the size it started at. So that's the first part. All right, to find the center of dilation, this one actually works great with what we just did. Because we can count, remember we always do big to little, and the only point on a circle is the center. So we could count and see that we would rise up 1, 2, 3, and over 2. So I would rise 1, 2, 3, and go over 2. And this would be the center of my circle. So my center of dilation is at the coordinate 1, 1. So that's my answer. So that's just like if it's a triangle or a quadrilateral or a segment, it doesn't matter. We use our centers to figure out like what the slope is to find the center of dilation. So I again go from big circle to little circle. So I rose 3 and went over 2. So I just rise 3 again and go over 2. So the center of dilation is 1, 1. All right, going back to the other circle problem. So obviously these two things are sitting right on top of each other. It says given a circle of radius 3 and a center at 1, 2. So the original circle is this big one because it's right 1 up 2. So the pre-image is my big circle, and my image is this little circle. And it says the image is a circle with a radius of 1/2, and its center is right 1, down 1, 2, 3, 4. Ignore that little black dot right here. I think it's on your paper. I'm thinking it was the center of this circle and got moved. So we obviously were given and can see this has a radius of 3. This has a radius of 1.5. So to find my scale factor, again, I have to do new over old, or in big kid words, the image over the pre-image. So we said the image is this smaller shape, the pre-image is the bigger one. So I'd have to do 1.5 divided by 3, which is actually 1/2. So on my scale factor, again, is just a half. So the circle got a half smaller than it started. And then I'm going to have to figure out, oh, that dog. I'm going to have to figure out the center of dilation. And again, think about the fact that the center of dilation is like essentially like a spotlight. So it's taking something and projecting it and making it bigger. So the center of dilation is going to have to be somewhere down here in order to project this circle and make it become bigger. So I know I'm looking for something down here. The problem with counting the slope is I don't have a rise and a run like I did last time. All this does is goes down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I know it went down 6 to get from the pre-image to the image. So I thought about this kind of backwards, and that's what makes this a little difficult. Remember yesterday when we knew the center and we knew the scale factors, we multiplied the slope by that scale factor, right? So right now, I know that the only thing this thing did is it did something with a 6 and it didn't go left or right any. So it went down 6, to be more exact. That's my rise over run. And yesterday, knowing the scale factor is a half, I would have multiplied by a half. But this is backwards. This time, I've already multiplied by a half and got 6, and that's how I knew to run -6. So instead of multiplying by a half, I'm going to undo it and multiply by the reciprocal of a half, which is 2. So I would multiply the top and the bottom by 2. This one's like really goofy. It's one of the only ones that does this. But you have to use that scale factor and thinking backwards to figure it out. So my center would be just to go down 12. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So like yesterday, we would have known this was the center of dilation and counted up and been like, oh, to get from the center of dilation up to the center of my pre-image, because this little circle wouldn't have been there yesterday, I would have counted up 12. And then I would have known my scale factor is a half, and half of 12 is 6. So instead, I would just rise 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this one's it's a little tricky, but that's the center of dilation. You can also try to draw lines and where they intersect. They're called tangent lines. We will do that till later. But if you draw lines just on the outside of that circle, it should cross to make that center of dilation if you want to always try that as like a second option to see it. But like I said, that's the only goofy one. Other than that, I think that is it. Feel free to email me tonight, text me tonight. I'll be back at the I might even see you. I think we'll be back around 2:30 or 2:45. And feel free to stop by in the morning if you have questions. But I think you can honestly do most of this. At least I feel like the scale factor should be pretty easy. That's not entirely a new concept. We've done that before. So I'd at least go through and find all your scale factors. And if you can find the center of dilations, even better. For fun, I'm just going to also draw in, like you can see this. If you want to draw lines, like I said, these are called tangent lines. And they cross at our center of dilation, which I never even wrote. Whoopsie days. So the center of dilation is at right 1 down 12. No, is that down 12? No, that should only be down 10. 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, okay. Alright, so that's it. My center of dilation is right 1 and down 10. Whoa, baby. Everything is messing up. Alright, hope you all had a great day. I've totally lost this problem now. Boop, boop. Whatever. Oh, here it goes. I hope I'm making you guys laugh. All right. I'm done. Bye.